Hi everybody, what's up? We're back in the workshop today. We just launched this guy here, the H500M, and now it's available everywhere. But it's so packed of features that I would like to run through them and maybe teach you something that you have never seen in other reviews. We're going to have a full roundup of this case. I'm going to teach you how to swap the panels and how to use the cable cover system. And this is going to be a very packed video, so I'm going to put timestamps in the description so you can just take the topic that you're most interested into. So if you're ready, let's just roll the intro and then we can start. So if we take a look at the front panel now, there is the mesh pre-installed, and the mesh is like the best option for overclockers and people who want the maximum airflow possible in their system. Of course, we have also this guy here, which is the glass plate, and let me show you how to swap them because it's really easy. Once you remove the front panel, just place it on the table and you see 8 rubberized screws. Just take them out. Once everything is unscrewed, just lift the panel, keeping the mesh in place. Now take your mesh, replace it with the glass, put the panel back on top of it, and just screw it back. Okay, so as you can see now our system is super clean. We can take a look at the 2 big fans, and actually as you can see we got 2 200mm ARGB fans. If you want to know more about ARGB and how it works and what is the difference between normal RGB and addressable RGB, just write me in the comment because this is a very interesting topic and I think that a lot of you guys would like to learn more about it. By the way, the 2 fans are connected to a controller, and if you so desire, you can actually hook up the reset switch connector to the controller and you can use the button in the front to change the pattern and the color of your fans. The controller is located here, behind this cable cover, and this is a very strategic position because, as you may know, with all the fan cables and all the ARGB cables, we always have a mess. So now you can use the lower part of the system to actually cable manage everything and actually achieve a very clean looking back. If you want to replicate this kind of look, all you need to do is cable manage everything, but don't spend too much time on it. Then place the first cover, and with this you can lock everything in place. Then after that you can decide if you want to place the second cover and the third one if you actually use the controller or not. We give the option, so the choice is on you. One thing though that I would like to highlight here is the new peg system that we have introduced with this particular case. The peg system basically allows you to mount the SSD, but in a toolless way. Before, this was the solution that we had on the old MasterCase line. Now everything is toolless. The SSD can just sit and with friction it can hold itself. Actually on the H500M we have in total 6 spots where you can mount your SSDs. 2 of them are here in the back, but let me flip the case and show you the other 4 ones. So now that you can see the internal part, here we find a couple more SSD spots. And actually you can see that there is not only SSD spots on this cable cover, but we have also included some rails for water cooling. And actually here below the GPU there is an anti-sag GPU holder that you can actually remove if you don't use, so you're free to decide, even in this case. And as I said before, we got a couple more extra on the PSU shroud. Now, last but not least, the top panel. This is full tempered glass, and actually you can just remove it by unscrewing the little screw on the back. And just below it we found this very interesting fan bracket. This design allows you to have a very clean looking top, whether you're air cooling, water cooling, or you're not putting any fans on top. So now, let's wrap up this video, and I'm sure that you have noticed that I used a lot of ifs during the explanation of the tech inside the H500M. And well, this is the whole point of this case. If you're using water cooling, if you're using air cooling, if you're overclocking, all this covers the modular system inside the case, the beautiful panels. Basically, they sum up in a very simple concept. We want you to be happy with the system that you have now and with the system that you will have in the future, because this case will last for a lot of time. And let's face it, a person that invests into this kind of case won't change it over time very soon. And this is why we want to support every possible upgrade. Now guys, I'm asking you a question, because I'm going to cover more cases in the future and probably the products are going to change. If you want to see more about the H500M, like, I don't know, a dedicated video to the controller or a dedicated video on how to water cool the system, let me know down here in the comments. And guys, thanks, because I know it was hard, for putting up with my Italian accent for the whole duration of this video. You guys are the best. And yeah, see you in the next one.
The visual difference between the PureBase 500 and the PureBase 500 DX should be plainly obvious. The reason for the radically new design is the quite different direction of the DX model. While the PureBase 500 is one of the quietest cases you can get in its price range, its sibling has been created with highest performance in mind. And by doing so, we broke very new ground for Be Quiet. So check it out. One of the things we got most asked about on our social media channels was more airflow in our cases. And we are happy to oblige. The most obvious change is the front panel, whose airy design lets in a ton of cooling air. Our other cases always favored keeping the sound waves inside by utilizing sophisticated air ducts, which made the cases extremely quiet at the price of a slightly compromised airflow. Now the tables have turned. The PureBase 500 DX is first and foremost optimized for perfect airflow, which in turn makes it slightly less quiet than its siblings. But our name is still Be Quiet, which means that you will never hear loud noises from one of our products. And for that reason, we have spent months to find the perfect combination of panel designs and fan configurations until we have finally reached a compromise that's as quiet as our name promises. The most critical part in a silent system is the cooling fan. Just like in the PureBase 500, we have used our trusty PureWings 2 140mm fans in the DX, running at only 900 RPM. This not only guarantees the typical Be Quiet silence, but also makes for great airflow, as our new performance concept utilizes not 2, but this time 3 of these fans. One in the front, one in the back, and an additional one in the top. Directly above the latter sits our mesh-based top cover, which also plays a big part in guaranteeing an unhindered airflow and maximum performance. The PureBase 500 DX is not a big tower, but it still offers ample space for all PC building endeavors. For example, you can put a 360mm radiator in the front, use long, high-end graphics cards and massive CPU coolers. Just like in the PureBase 500, there is dedicated room for 2 SSDs in direct view, featuring smart cable routing options and great presentation value. And we have another performance upgrade as well, as the DX features a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type-C connector in the front. As I said before, we listen to our community. There's been another thing next to the airflow that you guys asked for time and again: a bit more color. Well, you got it. The PureBase 500 DX is our first PC case featuring ARGB lighting. Firstly, there is the stylish double strip in the case front, and secondly, another one in the inner top. We've included several pre-programmed lighting profiles that you can simply change by using the switch in the front panel. And if you keep that button pushed for a few seconds, you can easily synchronize the case to all of your additional hardware. The PureBase 500 DX is optimized for high cooling performance, but still keeps impressively quiet and offers advanced features, a highly customizable ARGB illumination, a great view into the inner workings of your computer, and all of that at an unbeatable price-performance ratio. It's available in black or white, and it's available now. So stay quiet and stay healthy.